No, he
had
did.
no choice,
No,
right?
he did because he dropped the body in the highway, off the side of the highway. So he never did that. But if you're going to do that, I like how we're sitting here going over, like, how would you get away with murder?
Yeah.
Like, bro, this is crazy, bro. He said, I'm watching. Like, nah. Yo. Back again. You see, if you would have seen on our page a while ago, you know, it was a little bit like, you know, I think about like 2 weeks in after we started switching up the content, y'all seen more of the Mama Tro drama arcs. You know how that goes. We covered a situation going on with the TikToker Mr.Prada. Now, if y'all didn't know, I'll catch y'all up TLDRs because, you know, yappers. He had ended up apparently his therapist or whatever, you know what I'm saying, then stole the car, then somehow ended up at the apartment. It was crazy. I'm not gonna lie, all the actions, like they was putting Jones on the board and I wasn't seeing no type of timeline that made sense. It really wasn't at all. But apparently now he's facing
guilty.
Not only the guilt, he's facing life. His literal life. Not figuratively, literally. Apparently he's getting the death penalty. So we're going to catch up with the situation and see what's going on now. And let's do it. Let's get right into it. August the Duck. We got huge TikToker, that be Mr.Prada, facing death penalty for murder. If you guys want to check out the original video, that will be down in the description below to give your own opinions and conjecture, boy. Let's get right into it. You know how we go?
There's been a development. A couple of months ago, I think, I don't really know to be honest, I sort of lose track of time these days. We talked about a pretty big TikToker who was arrested on suspicions of murder. And a couple of days ago, he was indicted by a grand jury on first-degree murder, and now he is potentially gonna face the death penalty. Pretty bad day for him, I'd imagine. It was a pretty big story when it happened, and I haven't really seen anybody talk about these recent developments, so here we are. Now, if you missed the original video, or if you just didn't hear about this when it happened, basically, a TikToker named Mr.Prada, whose claim to fame was, like, kind of just stealing other people's content. Not entirely, but, like, really what helped him get so big is that he would copy basically any TikTok that went viral. So when a TikTok went viral, people would comment, like, waiting on Mr.Prada to copy this, or something to that effect, and it got a lot of people talking about him. Pretty weird way to blow up, but I mean, if it works.
Like, I ain't gonna lie, if it, like he's about to say, if it works, it works. I ain't gonna lie, I can't hate on your hustle, I can't hate on your grind, even though if we not gonna really call it a grind, considering, like, how much hard work are you really putting in. But, like, bro, you can say that for a lot of content nowadays, bro, even the content that we sit here making right now. But even still, though, like, yo, the level of success he got to, like, the amount of following he had was still ridiculous, even for, like, the level of content he was making. Like, it's really insane. Listen, they was crying about that app. Don't worry, we're gonna be talking about that either today or tomorrow, probably tomorrow, but that app is back, so y'all already know what it is. Let me not even get him started.
Okay.
But you know what I'm saying? That app is back, and clearly y'all know TikTok being like basically the best platform ever for someone to go from literally zero to hero. You know what I'm saying? Because you can obviously blow up in the algorithm very much easily than other platforms. And he managed to be one of them, took advantage of that. You know what I'm saying? That deserve to capitalize.
Excuse me.
At least for a bit. Because you gotta see what's going on.
It works, right? That's not really what's important here. What's important here is that in September, Mr.Prada was arrested after being caught driving a stolen vehicle, the vehicle of a man who was recently murdered. If I recall correctly, there was an attempt to pull him over, which failed. He fled to Texas and was eventually caught by the authorities. Now, when this first went down, obviously, there was still a lot up in the air about what actually happened. But over the past few months, there's been a lot of evidence collected, and it really looks like Mr.Prada did this. There are apparently witnesses who saw him struggling to move a blue tarp that the victim's body.
Is he serious?
Yo, bro, I'm not gonna lie. If you got the tarp out,
what they think you moving?
I ain't even gonna lie. Like, you already just guilty. I'm not. I don't even want to know what's under it. Like, you're just guilty. Like, I'm not. Bro, he was struggling to move a blue tarp, bro. If you are seeing this in real time, like, even if you don't know Mr.Prada, know none of this don't even going on. If I see somebody, like, on the side of a highway or by an apartment, because this was by the apartment, dragging a tarp around, I'm like,
I'm gonna be a little suspicious.
I'm like, what we using tarps for? Like, maybe the Christmas tree, you might wrap it in a tarp if you go get a fresh one or something.
If you struggling,
like, you know what I'm saying?
The tarp rips.
You struggle with the tree too, because the tree is heavy, but like. like when this took place, this was like in at least at the very coldest in the fall time, because you remember with the John when he was in Walmart, and you literally just saw it. He was wearing like a sweatshirt, bro. You could wear sweatshirts even when it's like 80. You know what I'm saying? So it's like whatever. But nah, I'm asking too many questions actually.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We gotta get to the bottom of this because this looking a little crazy right here. You know it would have been a real tester if you'd be like, oh, you need some help with that? And he'd be like, nah, cook them. Yo, that would be the job is over.
He was later found in. A search of Mr. Prada's apartment found weapons and what was described as a large amount of blood. Again, he was driving this man's car, ran from the police. It's not looking too good. Now, there's a lot of what
taking the car was really stupid.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Because, like, you was going to get caught. Now, like, he was going to get caught regardless. But it's like, yo, as soon as they find the car, okay, it's already looking sus. You've been gone missing, whatever. This person was found dead. Who this car registered to? Because it's not to you.
To the person that's dead. I mean, you going to take that and drive around.
So
okay.
Who we think took him out? How the tables have turned. That's really tough on him, bro.
Surrounding this case that we'll get into a little bit, but I don't really want to speculate. I'm going to a little bit because I think some of the context surrounding this case is pretty important, because it seems like there might be a few missing pieces of the puzzle. The big story here is that a while back there was an investigation into the man who was murdered, where he was accused of inappropriately touching one of his patients.
Yes, I remember that. And this was the main thing of the Joan. We were trying to figure out, like, what was Mr. Prada's motive? Like, why would he go to kill this guy? Because obviously, like, you're not just gonna go murk your therapist for no reason, like, unless you on the psych eval, because they just let me not even get started. Some of these TikTokers, tough. Anyway, going past that, you know what I'm saying? On the main tip, it's like, yeah, you're gonna want to, like, obviously have a reason to do this. So everyone was saying that the guy apparently, like, always they were saying, was apparently touched the patient, and they were trying to line up the dates of Mr. Prada's age and like at the time of when the crime happened, and it did match up, but they kept saying that it wasn't like Mr. Prada. So I'm like, and it was never really confirmed. So I'm like, I'm wondering now, like, was it confirmed? Because if it was, I mean, like, still should never kill people. We know that. We came off the Luigi situation.
But now you see why he got a motive.
But yeah, now we've seen his motive to do this. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
He was a therapist. It was 10 years ago, and the patient who accused this man of doing this is the same age as Mr. Prada, lived in the same city. There are a lot of strange links between these two that really can't be ignored after one murders the other. The way this therapist was murdered was described as extremely brutal, and it seems like it would be one crazy fucking coincidence for Mr. Prada to have just decided to do this for no reason. Also, this happened inside of Mr. Prada's apartment. Why would this therapist be there if there wasn't some sort of prior relationship?
Right,
it is pretty weird. The attorneys involved said that there's no link between Mr. Prada and that old investigation.
And that's what I'm saying. It just like, okay, I feel that because obviously the investigator's going to know more than me, just some random boy on the internet. But like, dog, like, it's lining up a lot. That means, like, this cannot be no coinky dink, right? This can't be no coincidence, bruh. Like, something was going on prior to all the information we have now. You know what I mean? And even prior to that, like, when that situation happened, like, bro, come on now. Well, let me read what's going on screen. Amadeo represented Abraham in a 2015 case and said Thomas was not the alleged victim in the case, and that Thomas being Mr. Prada. It's unequivocally not him, and we told WAFB on Wednesday the relationship between Thomas and Abraham as well as a motive are still under investigation. See, that's what we were saying before. Like, yeah, we wanted to know, like, if this was the motive. Like, yo, was this bull getting a little, you know what I'm saying? He was getting on his means time, and you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, then I'm like, okay, Mr. Prada, you had to handle some business. I understand, but you shouldn't have done it. But like, hey, I know why you did. You know what I mean? But still, I don't know.
Gone on the record saying that Mr. Prada was not the child who accused this man of doing this. So, I mean, you've kind of got to go with that, but like, all the pieces of the puzzle here aren't really fitting. Looks like we might be building the wrong picture. You know what I mean? Obviously, the prosecution is going to try and paint this like there was no prior relationship or anything. I don't find myself going to the apartment of people I don't know very often. I feel like that's probably the case for most people. There's something that is not being disclosed yet. And look, I'm not saying that like anything would necessarily justify this. However, the way that like news outlets are covering this, I feel like we're missing out on some crucial details. Like it seems like there's an attempt to paint this as just some random murder, which look, I'm not a detective, I'm not investigating this. It could be. It really doesn't seem that way though. Just my 2 cents.
Not at all.
Anyways, Mr. Prada is heading to trial after a jury has decided that there was enough evidence to charge him, and he's being charged with first-degree murder, aggravated criminal damage to property, obstruction of justice, and unauthorized use of a motor vehicle.
Man, everybody getting obstruction of justice, but what?
Now I want to know what's the evidence besides him taking the therapist's car. Like that, I don't understand that.
You ain't see in a post? Oh, hold on. In a one John we looked at, he had like knives and stuff in his apartment. Yeah, look.
No. But they found the blood and stuff in the therapist's apartment.
No. This was Mr. Prada.
No, they found this in his apartment.
Look.
Wait, where did he kill him at?
A search of Thomas's residence. Thomas is Mr. Prada.
Okay.
This was Mr. Prada's apartment. That's why it's even more weird, because why is your like, bro, I'm pretty sure the therapist's older than you, and that's not saying, yeah, you know, my grandmom.
Anyway.
But like,
you can see.
Nah, why was this old bull coming to you? Mr. Prada is younger than I am. Like, he like 20, I'm pretty sure. So like, why
the
is
therapist going to his house?
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's the thing. And then at you know, Mr. Prada's apartment, they found sharp objects, weapons, and what officials described as a large amount of blood. So he killed him. He did something to him Mr. Prada. He did it to him in his own apartment or some junk. Something was going down. Maybe he didn't kill him there. Too, that's a whole nother thing, because like obviously you gonna bring the body. So I don't know. Maybe he didn't do it there, but as far as they're concerned, in Mr. Prada's apartment, sharp objects, weapons, and a lot of the bad juice.
Let me guess. Thomas recorded it and posted it.
Oh man, I wouldn't be surprised.
I know they checked his phone.
On some crucial details. Like it seems like there's an attempt to paint this as just some random murder, which look, I'm not a detective, I'm not investigating this. It could be. It really doesn't seem that way though. Just my 2 cents. Anyways, Mr. Prada is heading to trial after a jury has decided that there was enough evidence to charge him, and he's being charged with first-degree murder, aggravated criminal damage to property, obstruction of justice, and unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. And like mentioned earlier, since he's being tried in Louisiana, he could and probably will face the death penalty if he's convicted, given the extraordinarily violent nature of the murder. Now, I use the phrase "if convicted" pretty generously, I think. There's honestly not a snowball's chance in hell that this guy is not.
He's not getting off. Okay. I know it sounds like I'm repeating.
I'm just looking at his picture. I'm just like, bro,
no,
that's crazy.
Yeah,
like,
he's young. Yeah, it sounds like I'm repeating, but it's like the therapist went to his apartment. Mm-hmm. He did what he needed to do to them. Okay? He dragging the body out in the tarp. Yeah. I don't know where he was dragging his body to.
I don't know.
Did he drag it in his therapist's car?
Did nobody ask any questions, brother?
No, nowadays you got to mind your business with a lot of stuff. Mind your business.
I mean,
I'm minding my business with a whole bunch of stuff.
Nah, true though, because your boss not even lying.
You will be in this tarp next.
Yes,
okay? And yours will be green.
But like,
okay,
I'm not gonna lie. I may avert my eyes, keep walking by my business, but I'm not gonna lie. As soon as I get in the car,
I got horse blinders on.
I'm
still like this.
I ain't see nothing. I ain't gonna lie. But when I get in the car, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna have to call up 3 digits. I ain't gonna hold you.
But then I'm saying, okay, so now he drags the body in the car, because who knows where he dragged the body? Did they find the body in the woods somewhere? And then you going to Walmart?
Yeah, that was dumb.
In the car.
But that might have been that could have been like before or something. Nah, it would have to be after.
Okay, but we ain't even gonna talk about the Walmart picture. Let's talk about he still got pulled over in the car.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so say he didn't do it.
Remember the clip when he got out and started to run on foot? You remember that?
Yeah. So why you running?
Exactly.
You running because you stole the car. You running because you killed and stole the car. Which one you running for?
In his head, he know the honest truth, but what is he gonna tell them? No, he gonna tell them I don't know. He not gonna tell. You know, he's not gonna tell that somebody got sent back to the lobby. Like,
let me ask
he's not saying that. Like,
I hope that wasn't a TikTok copycat.
Nah. And that's why I'm just saying
sad. People doing anything on. Dude,
I mean, I can't really feel that much sympathy for him, because again, you should never take somebody's life, even if that person may have been him. Right. Like that the therapist bull y'all see here might have did this too. Now trust, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the object of morality. See, I'm not gonna lie, 9 out of 10 times I probably want my kickback too. It's vengeance, bro. It's tough, but still you shouldn't take anyone's life.
Why did you take that car? That's what I'm saying. Regardless, even if you say he didn't do it, Even though the blood was in the house.
He did.
His apartment.
Nah, I'm saying he did, in my opinion.
Where you get that call from? You gotta ask questions.
But it's like he was cooked either way, because now why your apartment getting a little, you means, or why the trash can smelling a little different? Like, nah, because you're getting cooked either way. And then, like, okay, they find him. Now, where was the last place he was and all that? Like, y'all seen him go. Where did his car? Where he not home, so where is his car at? Like, you know what I'm saying? Where is his car? Like, nah, this was like Mr. Prada. I feel bad because, again, he was young. He was younger than me. Well, he is younger than me. He gonna lose his life, unfortunately. Yeah. Now the death penalty system, it usually take like years. Sometimes it depends on how severe it is.
To him anyway.
But I don't know. Media getting crazy. You start putting pressure on Jones like this, they start acting. Y'all see what happened to Johnny Somali? They start acting, bro. They really start acting, bro. Once you bring attention to Jones, they start getting stun locked. They like, oh snap, we have to actually do something. Like it's getting crazy. But yeah, like it sucks because he's so young, but like. Again, this is what his situation led to, bro. I'm not gonna lie. It's tough. It is.
Found guilty. There's witnesses saying they saw him dragging the tarp around. The victim's blood was found all over his apartment, and he was driving the guy's car. I think the only possible way Mr. Prada gets off here is maybe the jury thinks second-degree murder would have been more appropriate, which, if you watch my original video, or if you've been following this case, you might remember that originally, Mr. Prada was charged with second-degree murder, but according to an article I found, apparently it was up to first-degree murder based off of the victim's age, which I don't really know how that works or why that works that way, but the more you know. But I mean, to be honest, it does kind of seem like this motherfucker had no plan.
I find that they upped it to first degree because of the guy's age. The guy was already like maybe because they felt like the guy was elderly, so he can't really defend himself or something like that.
No, you talking about Prada's age?
No, the therapist's age. Oh. Yeah, you gotta remember Thomas. When they say Thomas, talking about Mr. Prada. When they say Abraham, they talking about a therapist.
Yeah, but I'm talking about whose age they talking about.
They talking about the age of the therapist. That's what I'm saying. Oh. Like maybe he really was 65 plus. They consider an elderly man, so he can't fight back.
He defend himself. He looked like he was,
Yo, well, apparently he bold enough to be done.
Why? And it's no excuse, but why was he at his apartment? It's no excuse. I'm not trying. Listen, don't think I'm trying to make an excuse that it's his fault. He was there. Why was he there?
No, I get where you're coming from too, where the boss coming from, because it's weird on both ends. Let's just say the guy. We're going off the base where we're not confirmed. We don't know if it was him, right? You know what I'm saying? That did it to Mr. Prada. Why are you here? If he did do it to you, why is he here? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why is he here? Like, because.
And were we making house calls?
How many times?
I talked about that before.
Before this, if we're assuming that Mr. Prada took him out in his own apartment, bro, you know what I'm saying? How many times were they meeting up prior to this? This is the stuff that I want to know. Exactly, in that apartment. And this is the stuff that I want to know. Because clearly the therapist trusted Prada enough to go to his house of residence. You know what I'm saying? Like his place of residence or whatever. So clearly he was comfortable with that in some type of way. Whether they were just, I guess, one time formal and sometimes your therapist, okay, I'll come help you. Technically he's an adult or whatever, he own his own John. Or like, was it a little bit sneakier than that? You know what I'm saying? It's this is the stuff we're not gonna get though.
Yeah, we won't know. They won't unless Prada come out and say it. But then, do you believe him at that point?
Oh,
it's like
probably not, because he was going crazy. Like, like you could clearly see his tail end up when it was happening. So he's probably legitimately like out of his mind now.
And whatsoever. Left the dude's blood all over his apartment and then drove his stolen car. Like, I mean, it was almost like he was trying to get caught. Doesn't exactly seem like there was a lot of premeditation here, but I don't think that argument's really gonna work. Now, this case and everything that surrounds it has opened up a lot of discourse on TikTok and especially Twitter regarding the issue of vigilante justice, which, I mean, is always like a super productive thing to try and talk about on the internet, but obviously a lot of people are upset that Mr. Prada...
I'm summing it up. Like I said even a little bit before, but this is the last time I'm saying it, because because I understand that this is a factor of it, bro, because if he did it or not, or if he did it to Mr. Prada or not, regardless if he did it or not, you should not take someone else's life over this John, because one, title. you could go to jail and potentially, get your life ended. Or forget even the death penalty, DP, bro, you just don't want to spend time in jail. 2, you just don't want, 3, you just don't want to take somebody's life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. But and I hate to be like on I guess the manifestation John, where I always say like karma will come to people, but you just gotta let heads karma come to heads, bro. I'm not gonna lie, like as unfortunate that is, because I already know heads will want to take action, especially with a situation like that. Like you don't want nobody, you mean trust. I don't want nobody, like I'm not with you, bro. Like you need to calm down. But at the same time, you go out of your way to take their life, bro. You gonna lose your life in the process. Like maybe not physically, you won't die, but like you spend your life in jail or do this, that's not worth it. So that's just how that goes. But again, we won't know the full context, so we won't be able to make that decision. So as far as vigilante justice as a whole go, let the authorities handle it. Not all cops are bad. I know y'all see all the negativity, cops looking bad, trust. We covered the NYPD cop on the subway, trust. We didn't even shared our energies, but not all cops is bad. Please contact your authorities if things is going wrong.
Prada is facing the death penalty when everything surrounding this case sort of points towards the likelihood of something happening between this therapist and Mr. Prada in the past. Now, I don't really want to get into the topic of vigilante justice, but we're going to. In my opinion, it's really never justifiable, but sometimes it is understandable. I think that's a distinction a lot of people aren't willing to make. I mean, taking the law into your hands is the slipperiest of slippery slopes. Like, it's just one of those things in a civilized society that you just can't make justifiable. You can't make it okay, because things start to run downhill extremely quickly if you do. So like, I mean,
it builds that radical narrative of like, okay, we can definitely solve our problems with like violence and death. You know what I mean? And you don't want to get that off because we don't want it to devolve in, okay, I disagree with somebody, I bet, let me just kill you though. Let me just take you off the map. Back to the lobby you go. Like, nah, bro. And if you keep and if stuff like this keeps happening over time and on a grand scale, this is how you get wars and conflicts. Like this is legitimately how that happens, bro. So yeah, this type of junk gotta be avoided, bro. Let justice be handled by who it's usually handled by. You know what I'm saying? Your local authorities.
Really justify vigilante justice, but in certain cases, I can understand it. However, it seems like the internet is doing the thing that the internet likes to do in situations like this, and that's just ignoring anything that goes against the popular narrative. And as much as it makes sense, as much as it seems intuitive, we can't just assume that there was some sort of relationship between this therapist and Mr. Prada. It would be kind of insane if there wasn't, given like how this went down. Exactly. But right now, officials are saying that they don't believe that Mr. Prada was ever a client of this therapist. Which again seems like
located a blue tarp on the east side of the highway. Because I was supposed to say,
oh my god, he was on the side of the highway.
Nah, this I already knew from the last time. He was definitely on the side of the highway. Because I remember that with the John, they were saying they had found it. I was like, dang, that's even crazier. Like, because then it's like, this kind of makes it look premeditated, bro. I'm not gonna cap, like. Because he had a whole plan on where to go get rid of this body. See, this John goes so deep, bro. Yeah. And I really enjoy stuff like this.
So he wrapped him in his comforter from off his bed.
Bro, if any of y'all like true crime, I love true crime.
Wrapped around the body.
Man,
the head of the victim was found to be covered with a dark colored towel.
Here, let me go small so y'all can
the victim appeared to have sustained blunt force trauma to the head. So he hit him in the head. He probably hit him in the back of the head.
Yo, this is what I'm saying. So like,
didn't even see it coming.
Yo, this is weird because, bro, this John is truly interesting because there's so many different angles to be taken from. Was it like, okay, he was premeditated, he know what, and that's why I asked the question, was this guy coming, was a therapist coming prior to this with nothing happening or just like casual, or was like he set him up this one time? Because then that's truly premeditated. And from seeing all of this and knowing where to dump him at and having all this stuff in the tarps and blood head trauma,
I think he had this all planned.
Like it seemed premeditated, like it seemed planned.
He had this all planned.
But then we don't know because how long was this being planned for now?
Yeah. How many times did that therapist come to his apartment?
Yeah, like did he just decide to crash randomly this one time, or was it like?
They figured it all out. You already know that. They're gonna be looking for cameras and cars and did they go to lunch? Did they,
As bad as a situation like this is, man, I just find it so interesting because I be always trying to, y'all know how I be. I always tell y'all when we cover ads like Jack Doherty, I be trying to get into head psyches, like what is going on, what is causing y'all to think like this, like where are y'all getting the ideals to even do all this stuff from, like how did y'all even get to these conclusions? You know what I'm saying? And we'll never really be able to know, especially with this, if they don't drop more info.
really hard to believe. But that doesn't really mean you don't get to believe it, you know what I mean? And I know a lot of people are gonna say, oh, you shouldn't trust the authorities, the justice system sucks. And like, yeah, you're right. But also, sometimes people just do crazy shit for really no good reason. Now look, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that that's what I think happened here, but it is possible. In my opinion, unlikely, but it is possible. When stuff like this happens with celebrities or influencers, people that a lot of people follow, keep up with, feel like they really know, I feel like for some it hits a lot closer to home, but it's important
parasociality
to remember that you don't actually know these people, you just know their online persona. You just don't know what they're capable of, and you don't know where their head was at. Just because you really like them doesn't necessarily mean that they killed a person for a good reason. Gotta keep that in mind. Well guys, what do you think? Personally, I'm pretty curious to see how this all plays out. I feel like this is definitely one of the more serious situations we've seen on this channel. It's one of those things you don't really ever expect.
Nah, you see, this right here is what I like to call a double stuffed patty burger, bro. This is not like that stupid Mr. Beast video we made like a couple days ago where it was a legitimate nothing burger. Like they're canceling him for like literally nothing, like how they were canceling him before all the actual controversies. Like, I was tired of that. This right here got substance, and we still don't even got majority of what the substance is, because again, we do not know a motive. It just seems, in my opinion, to go off, you know what I'm saying, what August the Duck just say, you know, what's my opinion of this, John? Overall, give it before, you know, the outro too. My opinion, I think it was low-key, like, a little premeditated. Off of what we seen from that part and off of, like, all the Jones he was doing. But then from the clips we had seen, like, a couple of months ago when we first covered it, where he was getting out the car and running on foot and all that, like, it just doesn't, like, from those Jones, it seems like he was just going crazy. Like, he just didn't know what to do. But from seeing that little article piece in this John and seeing, obviously, what happened and the other people giving a conjecture, like, it just seems premeditated on that end. I don't know. It's hard. But I think low-key, probably, like, 60% premeditated, because he had all the tools and stuff for this too. Like, so, but he didn't. The thing is, though, he didn't think hard enough when he took the car, though. He didn't think that far. That's what I'm saying. It was 60%. He
probably took the body in the car.
No, he
had
did.
No choice.
No,
right?
he did, because he dropped the body in the highway, off the side of the highway. So he never did that. But if you're gonna do that, I like how we're sitting here going over, like, how would you get away with murder? Yeah. Like, bro, this is crazy, bro. He said, I'm watching. Like, nah. Yo, that joke's hilarious.
To see from somebody that, like, you watch on the internet. It just goes to show you how dangerous parasocial relationships can be. Stuff like this should just really hammer home the fact that you don't know the people you're watching on the internet. You might feel like you do. You might think some people are especially down to earth. They're especially transparent with who they really are on the internet. They aren't. Everybody's playing a character to some extent, even if you don't mean to. That's just human nature. I would bet a lot of money that most of you guys watching are not the exact same person you are at home alone in your room as you are.
Except if you're me. Nah, let me stop playing. Let me stop playing. I guess, I don't know. See, I ain't gonna lie. I am a serial yapper. Like, I'm the bull, that's talking to my screen. So, like, I ain't even gonna cap.
All night long trying to sleep.
I ain't even gonna cap. And clearly, I mean, I guess by default, I have to do that for y'all because we're on YouTube video. We're clearly making vids. But, like, bruh, when we're talking about, like, the type of personality, though, I don't know. I guess I'll be playing a character. I guess I'm more, everybody would be a little bit more, what's that called? Animated. Like, a little bit more up on their Jones, because, you know, obviously, you're doing
I ain't playing a character.
But yo, I'll tell you one thing. The boss is never playing a character, bro. The boss never playing a character, bro.
This is what you're gonna get.
Hey, look at it. Yeah, see, this is why me and the boss balance each other out, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Or at work, or at school, or around your friends, everybody's a little bit different based off the scenario. We've all got a couple different versions of ourselves living inside.
Yo, that's when she's nice.
Pension. That's my go-to word. That's why. Pension.
Oh, yeah, you're hilarious. Say, hold on. We gotta make it.
4 more years. Pension. I gotta keep saying it myself.
Yo, she's dirty, bro. I can't.
That sounds kind of weird, so I'm gonna stop talking there. Okay, see ya.
Hey, man. August the Duck. That was huge TikToker facing death penalty for murder. If you guys would like to watch the original video, that boy will be down in the description below to give your own opinions and conjecture. Of course, baby. Tough. As far as I got to say, like I said, this was like I think out of the TikTok tier list, right, of the TikTokers, you know, taking people's lives or being idiots, this is an S tier one for lore. This is S tier for lore. But in terms of execution, this is completely like highest I'm giving it is D tier, because he kind of thought this out. Like I said, he kind of thought it out, but it didn't pan out, and it never was in the first place. Hopefully, though, the therapist did not diddy him, bro. I'm really hoping that just wasn't him. But at the same time, like it doesn't matter, because again, a life was taken. Should not be seeing that. And in either way, I feel like people in Mr. Prada's life should have really been there for him more. He should have had more people help to reach out for him, because clearly when they saw him shaving his head and he making TikToks where he got a patch here, a patch there, I'm like, nah, let me go ahead and bang his line. Something going on, because I ain't gonna hold you, bro. Like you're looking like something is literally going on. Like I ain't gonna cap. But unfortunately, Heads didn't do that, and this whole situation involved. But obviously, as more and more information to come out about this, we will be covering that, boy, because I am definitely interested in this TikToker leading to some crime lore. Time around. Shout out August the Duck. Go subscribe to him. Go watch all his vids. You know what I'm saying? Go like them boys up. And we're pushing it over to the end screen, baby. Like this video up if you enjoyed. Me and the boss will very much appreciate that. I ain't gonna lie. 4K up, 4K down, because 4K right around the way. We got like 40 away.
We're getting there.
Post notification bell. Y'all better make sure it's turned on.
Yes.
Lovely. I go hold you. Because, yo, every time the boss Trill M&T post on the page, you already know that boy gonna be up in your feed, and what they got, they gotta
watch the whole thing.
You know what I'm saying? She definitely be watching the vids, bro. She be staring
and
at y'all. What?
And come hang out with us next Saturday.
Don't come on the stream. Don't come to the stream. Mom is cursing y'all out. She'll be like, y'all ain't show up in the first minute.
Yeah. Y'all ain't show up all week. No.
But yo, we love and appreciate y'all. And we gonna catch y'all when we cover the next bozo. Peace.